Sandia Ranch Sanatorium had a long history. I'm Donald Salt, and we are visiting the ranch today with 3 longtime area locals to learn a little bit about it.
What are you doing with the bell?
It just is to relax the atmosphere so that we don't hurt ourselves, by acting precipitously or too greedily or stuff like that, because it's been torn up and, manhandled by gangs and it's just had in part a good history and in part an unpleasant history.
Over the years, the once historical facility transformed into a haven for vandalism.
We're here to preserve these terronis as educational tools, hopefully for a museum, so that the public gets an idea of the difference between handmade adobes versus sod-cut terroni. And I'm supposed to say it correctly, and maybe I will and maybe I won't, but I'll make my best. I'm making my best effort at saying the word correctly in Spanish.
What are they called?
Terrones. Or singularly, terron.
Terron.
Okay?
The building the remains of which are over here, was one that had some of the thickest walls, I believe, of any that were along this area. So there's a string of 5 National Historic Register structures along Edith Boulevard. They're intact and in their original condition from the mid-1800s. It's the longest string of territorial era buildings in the greater metropolitan areas.
1870s?
Yeah, that's how old this is.
Well, that is.
This is from 1870?
Yeah, at least, maybe older than that.
And I don't know how much they weigh. They're too heavy for me!
They're very, very heavy, yeah.
I don't know.
10 pounds?
No.
30?
30 pounds?
Wet, they'd probably be pretty
Yeah,
heavy.
Susan, how heavy do you think these are? 20 pounds?
At least,
At least 20 pounds.
Even in the rubble, you can see where the original construction ended and the additions began.
Each of us owns a house that was built prior to 1870, and this, because it's built of terroni, as our houses are, is instructive for us as to how our walls were built, because our walls are like 2 to 3 feet thick, and you can see from the size of these terroni how they got that thickness. I've heard that they're triple walled of terroni to make them so that the walls are 14 feet high and can hold the roof, which is full of vigas, and in the old days probably latillas. Nowadays that's been removed.
We followed our guides around while they searched for terronis that still held their shape.
It's sod that was pulled up from the Rio Grande. And so the normal way that they present is that one side of them you'll see grass, because that was the upside of it, the growing side of it. And then from the side you may see roots going down, but this is typical of a terrone.
Many of the terronis have held the brick shape despite being about 140 years old and having been demolished.
I think we have really cool examples here.
I'm gonna go, but no, you're gonna get more. You're gonna get more. We're gonna rebuild Sandia Ranch with these old blocks. We could.
Not
We
this
could.
decade.
Our guides were able to collect a few terronis as samples. They would be the only bricks saved from destruction.
Terrones, they outlawed people from getting them from the river around 1945.
They were actually outlawed.
Absolutely, yes.
The mortar in between has a lot of mica in it. It's micaceous. So it's probably some of the granite that's just local mud.
Washed down.
And it looks different from what's been cut out of down here, which is all composted grass over 100 years or so, grass roots and things. And then this layer has the sparkly micaceous stuff in it, so they probably took the dirt from around here, sifted it, mixed it, and used it in to hold the terronis together.
At some point we may find out what tools they use, but at this point I don't know. I just know it.
I've seen them use saws, you know, an old wood saw.
An old wood saw and
For
go through
these?
and
Yeah, for cutting them out.
Oh, you've
Of the
seen
sand.
people do it?
Well, they used to do them down Isleta, below Isleta Pueblo,
Oh, okay.
on the west side of the highway, Old 85.
Cool.
And if you ever want to cut a window or a door in it, good luck. You take a piece of baling wire or barbed wire and tie a fence post on each side, and you sit here and saw back and forth.
Oh my
and cut
goodness.
down through it.
that would work too. That's
I
awesome.
did that.
That's old school. You did that. You actually did that, huh?
Wow.
We opened up a window, made it a little larger.
They're lengthwise, and that's why the walls can be this thick. They're 1.5 feet. If it's double, it would be like 3 feet.
Of the metal lath, the triangular, and this is an older style. And you can go through and date parts of this if you understand the construction. Well, there were very nice flowers. You could see and the trees, and it was really pleasant. It was nice. Lawn out in the front, and
When you bulldoze something like this, you can't see the architectural details that were there. I mean, trying to sift through a giant pile of relatively dangerous rubble. Because, for instance, one of the things I'd like to see is what some of the wood looked like that went between the beams in here, because you can get a lot of idea of the dating on the building from the tools that were used for smoothing those down.
Yeah, and it's a very good lasting construction, and they don't build things that way anymore.
It's all gone now. Sandia Ranch Sanatorium had many uses in its time of existence, and although it, as part of history, is gone, the land can be put to a better use so that it can benefit the community.